Well, who am I then? I've been recognized in many different media outlets as somebody who's a thought leader, and I influence companies in many ways, especially, of course, in pricing. And part of that is because of my new book, The Price Whisper. Buy it wherever you buy books from, online or in a brick and mortar store. I'm here to talk about something that a lot of people doesn't. I would say they care about it, but they don't act on it, right? And that is the urgency of pricing. What do I mean by that? Well, you have to think about that every company, and I've said this in the past, has profitability that comes from only three variables. It is the total cost of the operation, it is the total sales of whatever you're selling, and it is the price of what you are selling, right? We know that every company spends a lot of money, a lot of their resource on to increase their sales volume. They do so by marketing, obviously. They do advertising. They may have salespeople. They have websites. They tweak the websites. They're trying to find what is the message that leads to the highest conversion rate. What is the advertising that leads to the maximum number of recalls and recognitions and so forth. Spend a lot of money, right? And likewise, they also spend a lot of money and a lot of resource keeping their cost under control, right? Meaning that they have controllers, they have financial people, they have purchasers, they have processes, they have software systems and so forth, all to control cost, right? But price then? Well, in almost all cases, they just ignore pricing, right? Company says, okay, we're spending all this money and all these resources on our getting more sales volume and all these resources on getting more, making sure that we don't overpay for anything that we do. And then pricing is like an afterthought. They say like, well, I know the market price in my market. Well, how would they know that? I don't know, right? Unless it's published. And even if it's published like prices on a website, a company still don't know what deals the competition does, what geotagging may change prices, and all different things that affects the prices that are being displayed. So looking at a competitor may not be really the right way either, And if you don't have access to that, there's no way you can know the market price, because your customers won't share with you what other competitors may have offered them if you're in a B2B situation and sales are going through with proposals and so forth. So pricing, though, doesn't need any of those resources. It doesn't need much or marketing resources. It doesn't need much of cost control. It needs a little bit, but not very much, right? So here we have maybe a situation where 25-30% of a company's total revenue are being spent on selling more and controlling cost, and then price is something that somebody dreams up in 20 minutes, right? Takes no effort at all, right? And so then and that comes into the urgency piece, right? If you want to improve your cost control, if you want to improve your sales volume, right? It's going to take an additional lots of resource, depending on the size of your company. I don't know, but lots of resource and lots of time. You may have to buy new software, infrastructure software, train your people, have integrations done, right? And so forth. And by the way, most ERP systems installations fail, right? Something like 70% or thereabouts. And maybe you need to increase your marketing spend, maybe finding another marketing agency, maybe revamp your website. If you sell a product, maybe revamping the product bundles, or the what do you call it, the packaging of the product, and so forth. And all of this, lots of resources, and it takes time. It takes months. It may take years, right? Pricing you can fix in an afternoon, right? That is the urgency. And I don't understand. I speak to a lot of people, and they say, oh, we have a pricing problem, right? Fine. That's one of the reasons I have a conversation. But in most cases, they may have a pricing problem, which is minuscule compared to the marketing problem they have, right? How they go to market, they may use the wrong marketing message. They may use, even things like the wrong logo, right? And all of this takes a lot of time to fix, right? But again, pricing you can fix in a flash. So the fact is that pricing among all those three variables, right, that affects profitability, should have the highest urgency. Because not only is it the easiest to fix, but it's also the issue that has the highest leverage on a company's profitability. Because, very simple, it affects the top line, right? Sales volume, you increase that with lots of resource, it increases the top line, but it also increases the cost, right? If you can control your cost, then the profitability increases. But assuming that your company is profitable, the cost will be a lower number than the price. So a percentage change in cost will have a lower dollar impact on profitability than if you do the same percentage change or increase in pricing, right? So pricing should be on the top shelf of any executive's priority list, for the simple reason that it is the most effective in driving profitability. It is the most effective in actually in delivering a value message to your customers. It is the most effective in selecting your customers, and and it takes the lowest amount of resource from the company, right? And this is unbeknownst to so many executives. I don't know about you, but when I took my MBA, we 3 years in pricing, we talked about for about 2 hours on a Tuesday afternoon, right? The rest of those 3 years were all about processes and cost control and all different things, but pricing was ignored. Yet it has the highest leverage, and it's the easiest one to fix. Isn't that amazing, right? So now when you know a little bit about this, what are you going to do? Are you going to understand that fixing your pricing is urgent, right? Because it doesn't take much resource, it has the highest leverage, and it gives you the resource to transform the company to the next level, which is probably what you want, right? At least I would think so. If you're an executive in just about any company, what you want is to transform that company into the next level. For two different reasons. The obviously shareholder value, right? But any company is in business because it delivers value to its customers. If you deliver no value to your customers, eventually there is no company. So with more resources, you are able to deliver more value to more customers. So there's a benefits there too. And obviously you are expanding, you add employees and so forth, and you're a good citizen and all different things, right? By putting pricing on the top of the priority list. Pricing is always urgent. Always. Think about that for a second. All right. Thank you so much for this time. I hope this little rant was insightful. And go back to your company now and look at your pricing and see how can you do something with pricing that affects your profitability and your sales volume tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.